There's always a winner and loser, and it creates a position of superiority and inferiority. As he says, education is supposed to be of global standards, and winners usually land up being the clever ones, and they go on to become leaders, but he says, be very careful of them, because some leaders have evil hearts, and they lack the courage to initiate good and right action. Finally, we had Miss Lina Slashmulder. Sorry, did I pronounce that right? I hope I did. Who was the Director of Search for Common Ground in Congo and the United States. She mentioned the fact that it is all very well to talk about internet, but in places like Congo, where there's large parts of the country has no electricity, and one of the poorest countries in the world, very few people have access to the internet. So in place of that, she says internet is used for by radio, telephones, and various other means of communications, so that people can get connected. She pointed out that conflict pretty much is being on how this is being used to help people in addressing issues like election violence, repatriation of refugees, people who have no land, demobilization, and how the ICTs are used to communicate and create dialogue. She said we can give them voice in their communities so others can understand and experience what it feels to grow up in war and get involved in efforts to reconstruct their society. So that, in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, I think within my time limit, 5 seconds up. Thank you very much indeed.
So if I may just try and capture a few of the key points then to summarize your summary, if I may. So in terms of media and ICTs building mutual understanding, one point is hearing and heeding the voices of women, and having this as one of our focal points in approaching improving understanding using media and ICTs. Before we can have understanding, perhaps the world needs healing, and the power of song may be a really helpful contribution to promote that healing. And so using the media and ICTs to share these songs might be a practical next step. Empowering and equipping young people with storytelling skills to be able to share their stories so that their personal experiences don't get lost. If they can't capture and share their stories, we don't hear them, we don't engage in them. The promotion or investing in e-learning as, again, a practical way in which media and ICTs can build mutual understanding. Instilling humanity and appreciation of nature and the earth in our application of media and ICTs, so that we appreciate the precious tool that is the media and not take it for granted. And then finally, but certainly not least, taking an integrated approach to media and ICTs. So take into account that not everywhere has internet access, and using radio and other traditional forms of media to ensure that the voices, the whispers that are so often drowned out are raised up. So thank you so much for that. If we can then quickly move on to the next session, which was conflict management through media and ICTs. I don't know why I'm reading notes, because I was moderating that session, and I'd like to, well, already as efficient as yesterday, Nancy Hunt.
Yes? No? Yeah? Oh yeah. Okay, good. I have to say, I had one of the best moderators right over here. Let's give him a hand. Robin was great. He was running around with me with his conflict, if all of you saw it, running around with the conflict little sign, and we went to various sessions. So anyway, our topic was conflict management through media and ICTs, new opportunities for collaboration. And I'm just going to go through the 3 questions that we tried to elicit answers for, and then give you some of the outcomes from those questions. I think that's probably a good idea. All right, so the first question was, What are good examples of collaboration among organizations engaged in research, teaching, or activities relating to conflict management in your experience or purview, and to what extent do media or ICTs play a significant role? That's a big question, but what I think we found, I think Simon you'll agree, is that there were a lot of answers for this, and mostly it was a lot of different organizations, and what was wonderful is we had so many different countries represented. You all had different websites, different organizations, so there is a long list of them. And I didn't print them out, but I will type them up and I will share them with you or with someone here that can distribute it later. But what I found is that there wasn't, there were so many of them that it felt good. It felt good that we can answer these questions now with organizations that are actually doing something. So I think the takeaway here is that the organizations are extensive now, whereas maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago they weren't.